back to the channel, guys. Real quick. Woo, real quick. Alright, guys. What I have here is I think this is a 2012 model Dodge Charger. Okay, now you can see the check engine light on, right? Okay, so I'm about to take this in the shop. Now, the problem they having, guys, is there's a misfire in cylinder 4, I want to say. Okay, now because this is a 2012 model and it's a 3.6, you're gonna have to verify, pretty much do your typical diagnosis. However you do, there's different ways. There's no right and wrong way. Whatever your conclusion come up to as far as what's causing the misfire is what you should be concerned with. In this particular case, I talked to the guy. Naturally, you know, you're going to be told things like, man, I have replaced the spark plug, the ignition coil. It's not a rocker arm. And yes, guys, a rocker arm, a loose broken rocker arm can cause a misfire. Okay, he's semi-mechanically inclined. He says they done replaced all the rock arms, all the lifters, everything. He said he went so far as to swap the injector from cylinder 2 to cylinder 4. I think the misfire is in cylinder 4. In other words, the misfire is still there. So, guys, because this is a 2012 model, there is Chrysler decided to help you early built 3.6 Pentastar guys out. And what they're going to do is help you out in the form of, once it's verified, now keep this in mind, it has to be verified by a certified or dealer tech, okay? It has to be verified that the problem is internal. So what you do, if your car qualify, is take your car to a dealership. They're going to inspect it. They're going to basically inspect everything you so-called just done, such as secondary ignition. Now, they're not going to go in your engine and verify if you have a lifter or anything, or rocker arm broken, but they will check. That should be found anyway, because they are supposed to check compression and leak down tests and all of that. So if that technician verified that, yes, there is a problem in cylinder 4 internally, based off his findings, he run a compression test and a leak down test, and both of those are somewhat failing. Okay, you got low compression, or you're leaking down in cylinder 4. Then he's supposed to write it up and tell service advisor what's going on. Now, if your car qualify, guys, you are entitled to what we call a X56. That is not a recall. Let me say this again. That is not a recall. That is merely a warranty extension. What Chrysler did was extended the warranty on the early built 3.6. I think it's 2011, 2012, and the early year 2013. So they basically going to help you out in the form of giving you a head. All right, guys, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. All right, guys, welcome back, man. Y'all remember the Dodge Charger that I started the video on? Well, I ended up doing my testing, and here we are 3 days later, guys. So this is a whole nother camera I'm using and everything. The car, they finally got it approved and it is back. So I can't even remember where I left off at, but I know the last time I talked to you guys, I went on a break. So yes, this is a 2012, I want to say, Dodge Charger, but here are the parts that you're going to essentially get, guys. Okay, remember, guys, this is not a recall. It's just merely a warranty extension. Chrysler was so kind to do this. Basically, I mean, the engine already has plenty of bad press out. They don't want it to continue, but this is the new cylinder head for bank 2. Okay, bank 2 is whatever cylinder 2 is on. So this is bank 2. They had problems with bank 2. I have yet to replace the cylinder head on bank 1. Okay, now this is internal problems, guys. They have a problem with the valve guides, or the they're not sealing. Okay, so some machine fluctuation, a lot of things was going on. So I remember when this problem first happened, I actually went through the trouble of reconditioning the head, put all new valves in it, checked the guides, and that we repaired that car and it essentially came back, guys. So They told us from then on, do not try to build them, just put a new head on it. And I still think I'm a pretty decent engine cylinder head rebuilder, as for valve job doer and all that stuff. I got a knack for that. So, but at any rate, they stopped us from doing it. They want us to put heads on it. So I guess they'll take the old head and figure out what's going on. So this is what you're going to get: a head, naturally head, valve cover gaskets. Here goes cylinder head gasket. I'm only doing one head. Here's a sealer they want us to use. So guys, one thing I want y'all to keep in mind. Okay, keep this in mind. Listen to me real good. This has nothing to do with the ticking noise. Okay, in other words, I'm going to reuse your same old rocker arms and your lifters. Okay, so if you had any ticking noise or you were starting to tick, that is a good time for you to be so kind or be so nice to the shop that's doing it, or the mechanic for that matter, and see if he would go in with new rocker arms. Okay, I mean, you're not entitled to new rocker arms. This is not a tick repair. This is not a cam phaser repair. This is not anything. The only repair this is supposed to address is that misfire. Okay, if it's either 2, 4, or 6. This is bank 2, guys. So if you have a misfire in 2, 4, or 6, and it is determined that the problem is internal, then yeah, you are entitled to. And I don't want you to confuse. You know, the problem has to be internal, guys. It can't be no injector, no coil, no spark plug, no valve train problems. Any of that, it has to be internal, and it takes a mechanic to figure that out, because again, he's gonna run tests. So my advice to you, I don't know, you're not getting new lifters or rock arms, so if you want to suggest the mechanic go in with new valve train parts, you might want to put that speak on that to your service advisor. At that point, you're just dealing with parts. You're not dealing with anything, any labor, because he has to take all of that out anyway. Okay, guys, so I have work to do. This is 3 days later. It pays fairly well. Now, there's some debate on what happened or what has to happen to remove the cylinder head. And because this is a warranty repair, I would not get into that. I'll talk about that on a separate video.